Howdy ho, good neighbors. What's going on? It's Phil Russert. I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days, so I'm a little drained. But the show must go on, and we still have to push this project and get it going. First of all, thanks to everybody who has supported and shared out the Kickstarter campaign for the Dynamics. Thanks to those of you who have supported Philbo Publishing. I am in your debt, and I'm very grateful to you. I just want to remind everybody, Tragedy 4, fortunately with me not being well, is I didn't ship everything out, but you'll get it all by next week. Um, and I added, like I said, everyone's pledge is going to either have a surprise Will Spertasio, Larry Stroman, Sean Chen, or Ian Churchill cover to the first printing of the book that I have, because I remastered it, so I have a few first printings left. So if it ever becomes something, those will be rare and worth it, because there was a limited run on those. I think it was like 12 or 1500 I printed the first time. So I put those all in as a thank you. Now, I'm technically not late with Tragedy 4, but I'm later than I want to be, and I don't like that. So I decided to, no one's hounded me, no one's bothered me. Hey, where's stuff? And I wanted to just show my thanks to everybody. So I sent one of those big name covers. It's random. I just randomly put them in with everybody's stuff. But everything is packed up and ready to go. And just as soon as I feel better, I'll get out there and do it. And you should have by next week. I just want to tell you, if you're holding out on the Dynamics because you haven't gotten Tragedy yet, I would ask you, please put your trust in me. You're going to get your books. I have never let you down in all of my campaigns, and I've done about 7 or so, or 8 at this point. I am a man of my word. I'm very transparent. I communicate quite a bit. So please don't let that deter you from supporting the book. Because I would understand if you did, but just please trust me that you're going to get everything. Those who did covers, you're going to get your comps shortly after the fulfillment. I will ship them out. They are packed up. Thank you, kid. I appreciate that. Hi, Adam. How are you? Michael, how you doing? Yeah, that'd be awesome, Michael. I appreciate that. That would be great. Let me know. I'll accommodate your schedule. So I just want to let you know, uh, I know it's a tough time of year after the holidays. We're in a recession, etc. But the Dynamics is not doing tragedy numbers, which I understand that. I expected that. But I wanted to let you know, if you're thinking this is a kiddie book, it's not a kiddie book. It's not a children's book. It's okay for children to read. It's appropriate. It has a children's style, like a cartoony style, but it is very much enjoyable for adults to read and get deeply involved in. If you liked The Incredibles, if you like Fantastic Four, this is different story, different characters, different powers, but along the vein of a superpowered family that deals with family issues and family dynamics and family loyalty and family arguments, along with humor and along with action. I really think you'll enjoy it. And Tragedy's track record will tell you that, talk to people that have collected and read Tragedy, and that they will tell you if I'm worth reading or not. And Rob put his love into the book, and we really put a lot of work in. And we're close to 2,000, but obviously that's not the 10 to 13,000 numbers that we do with Tragedy. Excuse me. But if I'm going to continue doing this book, I'm going to kind of need a little push, and that's not me giving an ultimatum. That's not me trying to guilt anybody. Just factually speaking, with the cost of making the book and the cost of everything else, if I don't get these numbers up, um, the Dynamics may not have a future. And I really think that would be a shame, because this is a really good, entertaining story that I think people will like, but you got to give it a try to find out. For those of you who haven't followed me new, if you haven't been checking out Tragedy, Chapter 5 is coming very soon. Chapter 4 is going to be in the mail this week, if not the beginning of next week. And Tragedy is basically, if you took Big Trouble in Little China and Boondock Saints and threw a bunch of other stuff in there, It's a book you don't know where it's going. It's not very linear at all. It's like this spider web of intricate subplots, etc., that are moving around. Great rogues gallery, characters that you can root for, villains that you hate to love and love to hate, different superpowered people and metahumans, and there's Chinese mysticism and martial arts. Tragedy has gotten great reviews from some great writers: Chuck Dixon, Howard Mackey, and Peter David. And I ask you to trust their reviews and trust the fans of Tragedy and give Dynamics a shot, because the writing is me. I write it all. And Withered is coming out hopefully in March. That may have to be pushed back because Will is being slammed with books, covers, and commissions left and right. Will Pladen. And if you've seen the detail he's done on Withered's pages, you're going to be mind blown. Someone had asked me today, Tragedy is it going to be collected in trade paperback? The first 5 issues complete a first story arc as I'm planting seeds going forward in the story. But there is a nice climax to the story, a certain spot of the story in issue 5. I am going to put out issue 5. I'm looking at May. And then probably July, I'll put out the collected trade paperback of issues 1 through 5 with the manga on the back. The writer contest winner will have their 10-page story on the back of one version of it. And we will be doing it'll be a big trade paperback because I'm going to have the original Tragedy #1, the remastered, and then 1 through 5. We're going to have some fan art in there. So if you have fan art of Tragedy or you want it to be published in the trade paperback, please feel free to send it to me. We're also going to do a letters page in the trade paperback. If you want to write me letters asking questions that I can answer in the book, your questions will be put in the book. DM me. I'll give you my email address to send those questions. I'd love to have a letters page or 2. It'll be fun. And we're going to have a sneak peek of things to come because I have some amazing characters that have been designed with the help of Alex Sarabia. I design them, he draws them, and he's drawing them like they're coming from my mind. So Tragedy is going to have a big year. I have other things in planned. We're not going to get into it right now. But right now the focus is on the Dynamics. Filbo Publishing has aspirations to grow and put out a bunch of titles, and we need you, the fan or the supporter. I don't like to use the word fan personally. I like supporter because without your support, I don't have anything. But I just want you to know, Dynamics, not only does it have the Dynamics book, okay, which is 26 pages, we have art books from all the artists that I represent, from 7 of the artists that I represent that are available on the campaign. If you missed that campaign in November, we have art books available. This is Ricardo Silva, who draws Tragedy. We have one from Rob Powers, who draws the Dynamics, and he does his awesome mashups, which is, and we have from Will Pladen. Will is an amazing talent who, as you know, he gets busy. So we have these art books. We also, and Rod Ramos, we also have original art commission tiers from all of these artists. So if you're interested in those art tiers, you can get a full figure 11x17 black and white. We ink it. And this is Rod Ramos. And they're all there. Jim O'Reilly's also there, Carlos Ramos, Bill Lutz, Mato Zapata. So we have original art tiers. We have the Dynamics. You can get Tragedy issues 1 through 4 off this campaign. You can get all the art books off this campaign. So this isn't just the Dynamics. It's a whole plethora of Filbo Publishing books and items. So I would ask you to please go check out the campaign. Give it a try. Kit, man, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your support more than you know. And I'm sincerely thankful to everybody. I don't want this to sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. 38 backers. We're at $1,810, and you guys are rocking, and you're awesome, and thank you. But as a small publisher, obviously my print costs are higher. Everything is higher. I'm asking you to help me get this book maybe to $4,000, and then I can continue making the book. If we don't get to $4,000, it's going to be tough. And I'm telling you, it's a good story. everybody who's read it, and I'm talking about adults, is enjoying the story. Adults are enjoying the dynamics. I promise you that. This isn't a dummy down kiddie story, but it is appropriate for children. It's both. You could sit there and introduce your kids to comics and read this comic with your children and not be afraid of any topics coming up that you now have to have an uncomfortable conversation you're not ready for, or there's no gore or language or sexual explicit or even innuendos. I don't even throw the innuendos in there. I have two kids, and I know how it is to watch something and they go, "What does that mean?" And now you got to come up with an excuse. So none of that in the book, but at the same time, as a comic fan, it's got superhero action. It's fun. It's dynamic. And if you're a parent, you can relate to it because it really is about what parents would go through for their kids, how much you'd protect them, and how much you would do for them. So I'm telling you, this book is worth it. Um, and Rob Powers has poured his heart out into these pages. They're beautiful pages. I have samples up there. I have a 10-page PDF preview. You're welcome to see that. I'm actually going to put that up on the page, I think. I don't know how to put a PDF on the page, but I'm going to post a PDF. And I ask you guys to give this a try. Can we get this to $4,000? If we get this to $4,000, I can continue making the dynamics. But if we don't, it's going to be really difficult. And just remember, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting everybody that I hire and employ through Filbo Publishing, and you're helping us launch off to a great start this year. I do get it. There's a lot of Kickstarter competition. There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of things distracting you and pulling and calling at your wallet. But for the $15 of the book, I really think it's worth it. You would find it worth it. I don't think you'd be disappointed, and you might find that new read that you enjoy. And if anybody's wondering why is it $15 for a book, for a couple of reasons. We are going to offer free stretch goals if we hit certain goals, and that costs money to print. Kickstarter takes its percentage. The cost of the book is expensive. And of course, our print runs are expensive because we don't do large print runs. We're not doing 20,000 to where you get like, a dollar and change a print. We're paying upwards of $4 to print the book more. And if there's a foils could be $11 to $12. And print on demand is more expensive, so it could be even higher than that. Sometimes you get up to $5-6. So it's just really covering costs. We don't make money off these Kickstarters. We're not trying to gouge you, but to continue making the book, we need to set a price point. Now, if I go to distribution, and this isn't bookstores, obviously we could lower the price, hopefully get a higher print run, etc. But we need you. I need you, and I'm grateful for all of you. But how do I put this without sounding like a jerk? A lot of people support me, and I appreciate that, and they back me, but it sadly, I need money to print the book. I do to make the book, to pay artists to continue. So I need you. I need your pledge. I need your support. Maybe you could forego, and I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but maybe you could forego, that expensive Happy Meal or coffee or whatever this week or whatever, and maybe just give it a shot. Even a PDF, $6 for the PDF, and you'll get that pretty quickly after the campaign. So it's not a large investment, but it's a large help to me and Rob and everybody involved in the book. I'm going to show you the page real quick. I want to remind you, I got Tragedy and Withered coming. We have Diary of Dread coming out at the end of the year. I have other one-shots. I have a lot of books that I have written. I have 50 issues written of various different books. I have 26 written for Tragedy. I have 5 written for Dynamics. I have 6 written for Withered. I have 5 horror stories written. I have a bunch of one-shots that are tragedy villains written. So there's a lot. PDF is great. High resolution quality images, easy to read in a scrolling format. The book came out beautiful. It really did. And it's very bright and colorful. Um, again, the cartoon style matches the book, but I don't want people to misunderstand. The book is just as entertaining for adults. All right, it's for everybody, and it's a great book to launch, like to get sit your kids down and read, with them. If like my oldest daughter, she didn't like reading, and my wife and I kind of were at odds with. I told her, I said, let her read comic books because comic books are a good way to start segueing them into reading um, prose books, chapter books. And my wife kind of argued with me, and she didn't agree with it, and this and that. And then you know what? My daughter picked up a comic book and she loved it, and she read it. My daughter read the entire huge volume of Bone by Jeff Smith, and she hasn't looked back. Now my daughter enjoys reading. So I mean, this is a family friendly book that you can spend time with your kids, get them into reading, or get them into reading comic books to share your love and your passion. If you're a dad or a mom and you love comics and you want to, hoping your kids get into it, there you go. It's the first issue in the series, and the story gets deep and truly thought provoking. It does. See, me, look, I don't know how many of you are parents out there. Some of you are new, like Angel, but when you have a kid, there's nothing you wouldn't do to protect them, keep them safe. You'd face Satan himself willingly. And there's comedy, there's fun because family life is never perfect. People drive each other nuts. They get on each other. Now imagine you had superpowers and your kids are running around making noise. This one's running super fast. The other one's lifting couches. Brand spanking new, so new. I still got the car smell. That car smell is gonna be dirty diaper, buddy. um, so there's humor, there's fun. It's based on my family, but honestly, there's some funny moments. There's some action packed moments, and there are moments where you're cheering because you got an 8-year-old going up against this huge monster that she created. Hulkopotamus is her creation. Now that sounds like Hulkopotamus. How corny is this book? It makes sense if you read the book. You'll understand why. It's not dummied down. It's not. It's like I said, it's kid friendly, but it's adult friendly as well. You're not going to read this and go, "Oh my god, this is I'm so bored." You're not reading Caillou. You're reading a good superhero action book. Again, I'm going to show you the Kickstarter and the trailers. I have 2 trailers thanks to Rob, but and it starts off. I mean, it talks about metahumans versus there are naturals and there are new gens. Naturals are born with abilities. New gens are created with abilities by using naturals. This actually takes place in the tragedy universe. I'm creating a universe like Marvel and DC do, all their characters in the same world. So are mine. And these characters are in there, and I have a plan for a crossover with tragedy at some point down the road. But I'm not trying to milk you, so it's not a crossover that you have to buy both books to understand the story, but it's going to be in there. Hey, Joe Ryan. Yeah, she's always trying to get me to laugh. So yeah, Filboverse, and that's the thing, man. Not everything is tragic in the Filbo universe. So I'm very serious about this. I don't want to when your kids are younger and you're watching these shows for them. You're like, oh, this is so boring. This is so dumb. It's not that. I promise. It's not that. I don't want it to be that. I want you to enjoy it as an adult because I know what that's like. I'm gonna play the trailer, and then I'm gonna play the other trailer. But real quick, we're at $1,810 with 38 backers, 23 days to go. Yeah, we have a lot of time, but honestly, there's a lot of dead space at this point. I really, really hope to get this close to $4,000 because I really want to tell the story. It's really good, and it's not The Incredibles. Is it a family with superpowers? Yes. Does it have humor and action? Yes, but the story is totally different. And the Fantastic Four has powers, has family values. So I'm telling you, it's worth a shot. I'm not just saying that because I need your money. I'm serious. I'm not going to promote garbage, And Rob did an amazing job. Okay, so here we go. here's my little boo boo. She wants to come say hi.
Yeah.
This is my Kaylee Bear, and she is the basis of one of the characters in the book who stands up to Hulkopotamus. She actually created Hulkopotamus.
I created a bunch of other characters too. You're gonna hear their names in the next book. And in the first book, if you read it, I name all my characters. Today I made up a new one, and she can turn into any liquid, like acid.
And pee.
No, not. But your baby has not grown up yet.
Oh my God, my child.
Mom says get your butt in the shower.
I'll do that.
Mommy, come upstairs. Get a picture.
Yeah, you see the character she is, right? Well, that's the character that's in the book. I mean, she really would stand up to anybody. I could tell you stories about her. Long story short, there's another show promoter that's done a lot of bad stuff, right? And he's cursed out my kids when they're 6 and 4, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so we were at a convention, and he kept walking by, and he upset my oldest daughter, and she started to cry. And Kaylee comes up and goes, "You want me to knock his teeth out?" I was like, "Oh my God." Oh boy. So anyway, here we go. So that is an awesome trailer by Rob Powers. Thank you, Rob. So I don't know about you, but I used to love the Rockies and the Indiana Jones and all those where there was good wholesome action. Even the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser, and you rooted for the heroes, and they were likable. Sorry, this is life with a family. And excuse me one second. Hey, Mom, live, and we can all hear you. Well, that's what you're gonna get in the book. So I'm all about stories that make you root for the hero and aspire to want to really stand up and face things. I'm not really into the breaking the hero down and they have to find themselves again. That seems to be the new trend. If you're into that, that's fine. I'm not. I'm into the Rockies of the world. You know, where it's not so much do I win the fight, it's just I want to know I could stand toe to toe. I just want to know that I could take the punches and keep going. And that's the stuff that I put in my books because I feel like whether it's tragedy or dynamics or withered, we all have to have something to have place our hope and our faith in and to cheer for and to aspire to. And we need heroes to look up to again. And we need heroes that yes, they have human characteristics and human flaws. Of course, that's just real, but you're still rooting for them. And when they fall, you feel for them because you can relate. And when they are triumphant, you cheer with them because you can feel that, that success or that triumph and that victory, and you can get inspired by it. And that's what I put in my books because I think it's what's missing today. I'm not going to tell you I'm a great writer. I'm not going to tell you I'm a bad writer. I'm going to tell you you need to find out for yourself, and you tell me. But there are a lot of people here that have bought tragedy and they think the writing is really good. Um, I'm sitting next to several hundred Gemini, and I'm sitting next to, you know, not as many, but of my prose book, and they're gonna go out. Again, I apologize. I haven't been feeling well. I'm really under the weather. I've been really exhausted, but I just dynamics is very close to my heart, and it's special to me because it's my kids, it's my wife, it's my family, it's everything that's dear to me put into a book. And I would hate to see it not succeed. I would hate to see it not go to a number two. It would crush me, actually. It would be kind of hard for me. So please, if you can just give it a shot, $6 PDF or a $15 book. There are variant covers. If we could get, we're at $1,800, we're at $1,810. If we can get to about four, I can continue the book. If we don't, and that's with me still putting out a pocket, the Kickstarter's not going to cover. I'll still have to pay out of pocket for the next book, but I need your help. If you're reading comics and you're finding yourself bored, tired of what's going on, either you feel you're preached to, or you feel the stories just don't relate to you anymore, or you feel the characters are not interesting, and you're just waiting for them to get their crap together and write them good again, why not give me a try then? We keep saying we want new and fresh stuff, but we really don't. We keep going and recycling and regurgitating the same stuff. I mean, Fast and Furious 85 and remakes up the wazoo. But here, indie people like myself and others are putting out quality, fresh entertainment, new stuff, new ideas, but we're struggling, because no one's buzzing about us and no one's throwing their money at us, but we're going to throw money at the latest Superman book that isn't really written well anymore. Maybe that's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to bash anybody else, but give the new guys a shot. You may be surprised. You may be surprised. I'm telling you, the dynamics is, I think it's worth it. And of course I do. I know you're thinking, well, you're the writer. Of course you do. Yeah, but I'm not going to embarrass myself. I'm not going to put out something that isn't quality work and embarrass myself because my reputation is important. You're not going to trust me for any other book if I'm pushing a book that's not good on you, right? If I tell you, "Oh, Get the Dynamics is awesome," and then you're new and you come over to Tragedy 5, you'd be like, "Oh, he told me Dynamics was good and it was crap. I don't trust this guy." I can't do that. My reputation is, and my word is my bond. And I can't sit here and lie to you if the book isn't good, but I'm telling you it's good. And if you see where it goes, you're going to really like it. And you're going to cheer for these kids. You're going to cheer for these parents. And it's funny. It's got some humor. Now, there's Hokopotamus. Again, Brendan, I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm losing my mind. But, wow, Fat Guys Inc. Brendan, why can't I think of his last name? I'm so sorry. I'm losing it. Did the original drawing, and then Rob used as a reference, and Kaylee, my daughter, came up with him. And I love this poster. I took the Mark Twain quote, and it says, "It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fighting dog." How many of us feel like this little person and the world is this big thing, and we're just fighting it constantly every day? How many of us feel like we're going uphill with a boulder on our back and boulders rolling down at us, And that's the stuff that I write about. But I write about conquering it and defeating it, being inspired. There's Rob Powers. And I give you plenty of samples to see what my writing is like. So you can go to the page and you can read the 6 pages and tell me if it's garbage or not. Okay? And then we get to the action. And the action is great. It's fun. It's dynamic, but you gotta see what happens. This new cover by Kenny Calderon popped up. It's based on, it's like an homage to the X-Men cover with Jim Lee. Um, and it's awesome. I have a sonic scream because I'm a big mouth. Again, self-deprecation. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. My mother at 74 is a hand-to-hand combatant who could find the weakness in anything. Kaylee is super strong and invulnerable. Melanie's super fast. Again, they have different names in the book. And my wife can control. She's like Gaia, Mother Nature. She controls weather and plant life and can talk to animals and the elements. She's extremely powerful, but doesn't realize it. But she will. And anytime you try to hurt her kids, you'll find out how powerful a mom can be. What's the most dangerous thing in the world? A mother protecting her cubs. We have blank sketch covers. And we also have the 5-pack as usual to save money if you want. If you're an artist, you can get these. You can turn around, draw Incredibles on it. You could draw the Fantastic Four. You could draw the Dynamics. Sell it for $60, $70, $80 and make a big profit. There's the Rob Power studio cover. They got their cape and cowl sticking out of the backpack. There's Ricardo Silva's cover. It's us. I mean, it kind of captured my handsomeness. Not totally, but Addie Kidd. It's her birthday today, by the way. Everybody go wish Addie Kidd a happy birthday. It's her birthday today. Did this really sweet, warm family cover. Martha Schwartz did a nice cover. Steph Wilson with Carrie Ann Colors, if you like cartoony. And then Mato Zapata, a nice action cover. The girls going up against Hulkopotamus. Yeah, Granny's throwing hands. Now, it doesn't look good for hitting these stretch goals. I would really love to have gotten to them. But we've got add-ons. We've got all 7 of these art books. You can get them individually or you can get all 7. And I showed you a preview before. If you haven't seen it, go look at the last campaign for them, or you can look at the beginning of this video. Some beautiful art in these art books. They're available. All artists from Legendary Illustrations. As a matter of fact, here. So that is the trailer to show you the art books if you're interested. And then we've got Tragedy issues 1 through 5. And we have the Ian Churchill cover, Tyler Kirkham cover, Mike DeBalfo cover, and Jose Luis cover with God, I'm tired. Livesay Inks and Alex Sinclair colors. So you can get Tragedies 1 through 4. If you've never read Tragedy, but you've seen it or if you heard about it, here's your chance to pick them up. You can make anything a virgin or a foil. And here's some samples of the artwork from the guys because we have art commissions available. Full figure 11 by 17 black and white with background figures of choice. No personal, no creator owned IPs of your own, but fan art is fine. Jim O'Reilly, Alex Sarabia, look at that. And then we got busts that you can get from Mato Zapata, M Zapata, and Kevin Stewart. I mean, look at that, Ghost Rider versus Spawn. That's just gorgeous. You can get a full figure by Kevin, 11 by 17 inked. Any one of them, all the commissions are on there. They're limited to a certain amount, but they're on there. There's so much more than just the dynamics on this campaign for you. But you could get the dynamics PDF for $6 and get a nice, beautiful piece of art from any of the artists, or you can get some art books. And yes, the money, a lot of them, the majority percentage will go to the artists with those tiers, and then 20% will go to the campaign. So you're supporting those artists as well, not just me. Legendary Illustrations and Filbo Publishing are part of my company, Filbo Entertainment Promotions. So we're a family trying to help each other grow and prosper and be successful, but we need you to do it. Yes, dear.
So Bailey goes up and tries to jump on the folding table. He goes like this and slides off and misses.
She's telling me about our cat Bailey. Went to jump up on the table and he missed. Klutzy.
And
so
you can tell when they're getting fat when they miss.
Bailey's a little chubby.
A little?
Anyway, so that's what we got going on with this campaign. So I'm asking you to give it a chance. Don't get me wrong. Shares are appreciated more than you know. Words of encouragement are appreciated more than you know. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, money is what makes the world go round. I don't need to be rich. I just need to make enough money to recover for book 1 and start making book 2. But I need you. So please give the dynamics a shot. I'm very serious. This is a good read. It's not a kiddie book. It's an all ages book. You can enjoy it as an adult just as much as you can as a kid. I mean, there's some great action going on in this book. And who doesn't want to see a little kid go up against a huge hulking hippopotamus? And that's another thing I want you to know. I try to write realistic. Just because she's super strong and invulnerable doesn't mean this 8-year-old kid is going to go kick everybody's butt. It doesn't work that way. I try to be a little more realistic and grounded, a little more real. She can't even reach that thing if she swings, But again, it's about the hits that she can take that make her tough, not the hits that she gives. Anybody can start swinging blindly, but can you take the punches? You'll never win a fight if you're afraid to get hit, and you'll never win a fight if you can't take the hit. So I like to write about that stuff. I mean, we need to be more motivated in this life. We need heroes to cheer for, I mean, there's nothing wrong with dark, brooding heroes and dark, brooding stories. God knows tragedy is. But sometimes we just need a little fun. And sometimes we need a little humor. But we also need a little love. And this is a book that is all of that because it's a family. Kids act up, parents get frustrated, but it's fun. I mean, the only difference is, well, dad's trying to relax after work, a long, hard day of work. He's got kids lifting his couch because he's super strong. So, again, it's a warm, family-friendly, heartwarming book that still has kick-ass action and humor and just everything you find in your household. I mean, you heard some of it before live, right? And I'm exhausted, and I'm on here pushing because I believe in this book. I could be laying down right now, bundled up. I really have not been well. I've been working my day jobs through it because I need to pay bills, but I've been really wiped out. I don't know if it's a flu or what, but I don't have a temperature or anything, so don't worry about that. But my body has just been crap, and I'm on here because I believe in this book. I believe in what we're all doing. I believe in what Rob did on this book. I went to Rob because I thought he was the perfect fit for this book, and he knocked it out of the park. He did a fantastic job, and I would love for Rob to continue on this book, but we need you to do it. Um, you could take this as begging if you want. I don't really care about all of that image stuff. There's a lot of people in the industry that are worried about their appearance. I'm honest. I'm raw. When I'm angry, you see it. When I've cried and teared live, I've laughed live, I've joked, all different types of jokes, and I've shown you my family. I'm just what you see, and I would hope that you would support this because it's worth it. Hey, Sean, where the hell are the stickers? I have lots of stickers now, Sean. I'll bring some stickers to Garden State Comic Fest next weekend, not this weekend, but the following. And I'm going to charge you $10 a sticker now just for being a wise guy. I'm just kidding. So here's the other thing. I have people that they support me. They say they're rooting for me, but they just don't have the money to buy the book. And then I see them buying other books on Kickstarter. But that's fine. If it's not your thing, it's okay. But please let other people know about it. Maybe you know people that do. Maybe you have relatives that would enjoy this, or their kids would. Just share it out. Let everybody know. Let's start making, talking buzz about all the books in the indie world. I mean, we'll sit there and we'll complain, myself included, about She-Hulk or Moon Knight, and we'll talk for weeks about these shows. Disney doesn't need that hype. They've already got their name. But could we start talking like that about indie books, creating that stir for them? That would be awesome. There's a lot of us creators that could use it. We really could use, I have so many people message me privately that they love Tragedy, but they're not telling everybody else. Hey, Mike, how are you? So please, if it's not your thing and you don't want to spend money on it, that's fine. But let everybody else know about it. Or you could just donate $2, $3, $4, $5 without getting a reward. Or you can get the PDF for $6. If you're international, you can get the PDF for $6. If you're in Europe or if you're in Australia, you can get the PDF and read the stories. If you want on the side, if you want an actual physical copy of any books, Tragedy or Dynamics, I can find out what the shipping is based on where you live, and we can work something out on the side. I just don't do it on Kickstarter because the shipping's so expensive. It's just a lot. And then customs and all that. So it could be a pain. Then I got to get phone numbers from everybody for customs. But there are options, and a website is on the way. I apologize. Legendary Illustrations website was hacked by someone. I know who it was, but I'm not going to get into that. And the site is down. So we're going to create a new site for Filbo Entertainment Promotions that will have everything on it. Filbo Publishing, CreatorCon, show updates when I do shows again. My Q&A will have a newsletter, and we will have a shop, and we will have Legendary Illustrations, and we'll have art for sale, and etc. So it's going to be a nice website. It's going to include everything under my business banner that you can go to. All right. So there will be options to buy the books besides Kickstarter. We have other plans coming this year. I have other big news that I can't tell you now, but until things are more solidified, right now, I'm just going to cross my fingers. All right. I'm going to go crap out. I appreciate everybody that's hung out and stayed and listened to me ramble on for a while. I appreciate all the supporters and backers. Someone just backed. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate every single person that invests and trusts me. I promise you, if you invest in me, it will be worth it. I promise. Thank you, Gary. All right, guys. If anybody wants to drop links to what they're doing, I know Sean's an artist. Joe Ryan's an artist. Ryan has shows. Mike is an artist, inker. You're welcome to drop any links to any projects you're doing on the thread. Please go right ahead. be a community, share out, let everybody know, and maybe you can share this video out as well, because if I really need this project to get to $4,000, or I'm in jeopardy of not being able to do Dynamics issue 2, and that would be really a shame because it's a good story. It's got a deep story to it. Underneath the fun and everything, there is a good deep superhero story and family story, and villains, serious villains. Not just Hulkopotamus. This is just the launch. This is the start. So watch it unfold. All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. I'm going to leave you with what I always leave you with. Be legendary and have fun storming the castle.